In this video, we are going to turn this into this. Hey YouTube family, welcome to my channel Decorate with Manas. How are you all? Today we are going to get crafty and we are going to do a DIY that gives me such flashbacks of the 90s. It has this old vintage, almost imperfect vibe which looks very colorful, and yes, I'm talking about mosaics. Now I've been wanting to do a mosaic table since a long time but never really got to do it. So when I found the piece of wood, I immediately knew what to do with it. Make a side table out of it. Now, having said this, I'm not a mosaic professional, so I looked online and I discovered this mosaic kit on Amazon, which I found was really nice. I think that for anyone who wants to try a mosaic project at home, I think this kit is going to be perfect. It has all the things that you need. What are we waiting for? Let's begin. Now, since this piece of wood was found in the trash, I'm thoroughly cleaning it because, let's be real, we don't know where it has been and what all it has touched. Looking at the details on it, it looks like it was a lamp, and I love those intricate traditional kind of details on it, which I find very beautiful. For the tabletop, I'm taking an MDF disc and drilling a hole at the center of it. You can also take an old plate or a tray for making the tabletop as well. I attached the disc onto the base using a screw, and it was safely secured on it. Look at these tiny glossy tiles. They look so cute. I started by sorting them by color, and then I started gluing them on the tabletop using Fevicol. This glue came with the kit, and honestly, one drop of glue was enough to attach one little tile. I went with orange and blue alternate for the outermost ring, and then red and gold for the inner ring. And again, I'm just choosing colors as I like. There's no particular science to it. Whatever looks pretty, I'm just going with that. And hence I completed all the colors, and the table looks so pretty and colorful. And I left it overnight for the glue to cure. For making the grout, I'm taking the powder that came with the packet and adding water to it and mixing it until I get almost like a peanut butter consistency. I'm also adding 2 drops of black acrylic color because I want my grout to be grey. Grey color will help tone down some of the bright colors of the mosaic tiles and give it a more sophisticated look. Next, I started filling in the gaps on the tabletop using the grout that we just made. I slapped a lot of grout on the table and removed the excess with a spoon. To fill in all the gaps, I repeated the process 2-3 times, and it was very satisfying. Then I started leveling the grout using a squeegee. And it was at this point that the beauty of the mosaic tiles started to come through. On the edge, I went at an angle to give it a tapered finish. When the grout was semi-dry, I went with a wet sponge to again kind of level it, smoothen it, and remove the excess grout over the tiles. And that finished the tabletop. I unscrewed the tabletop and left it to dry. For the base, I was really inspired by the distressed look that's super trendy right now. Distressed wooden furniture has a very classic, vintage, almost timeless vibe. For creating a faux distressed look, I'm gonna try the candle method. So basically, you rub a candle over the surface that you want to paint, and then you paint the surface with a coat of paint, and then you take a dry cloth and rub the paint. As expected, the paint comes off where the wax was there on the surface, creating a distressed look. So I'm rubbing the candle on the wooden piece where the most distress is expected to happen. Basically all the edges, all the protruding corners. I'm also covering the rings on the neck, the edge of the rings basically. I'm also adding random candle strokes on the belly of the wooden piece. And I'm putting in a lot of wax at the bottom of the wooden piece because that's where a lot of distress is expected to naturally happen. After I covered all the areas, it was time to paint the piece. For the paint, I am taking white chalk paint and adding a little bit of black acrylic color to achieve the same grey that we did for the grout. I mixed them and added a lot of water to achieve a very thin liquidy consistency of the paint. I kept the paint very thin because we anyway wanted a very patchy, streaky kind of a finish that a naturally distressed wooden piece would have. So I went on with random strokes, just trying to cover the whole wooden piece with paint. Again, not worrying about the quality or technique, I just wanted a very rough, streaky finish on the base. I gave it 2 coats of paint and let it to dry, and this is how it looks. And now the moment of truth. I rubbed the piece with a dry cloth, and as expected, the paint started coming off from the edges. And we are starting to get the natural distressed look that we wanted it to have. Removing the paint to reveal the distressed effect was so satisfying, you guys. So I went over the entire body, especially the edges, because that's where a lot of distress would naturally happen. And with each stroke, the piece started looking more and more beautiful and acquiring a lot of character and that lived in feeling. Once I was done, I took back our tabletop and screwed it back on the base. And voila, our side table is done. With the mosaic technique, I made a small side table, but you can always make over an old tray or maybe a tissue box or an old photo frame. The possibilities are endless. So that was the video, guys. I hope you like this step-by-step process of how I converted this found piece of wood into a functional, beautiful table. Now, can we take a moment just admiring how beautiful this table looks now? It has this colorful mosaic finish. It has this vintage antique looking distressed wood finish. And it just looks so pretty. It was a fun project. I really had fun doing it, and I hope you really liked this video. And if you did, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up on my video and please subscribe to my channel. I share videos on home decor and DIY regularly. I keep it real, I keep it entertaining, and I keep it fun. Also, please do let me know in the comments what was your favorite part of the video. I look forward to reading your comments. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!